Can I ask you guys a question? When you think about knots, what do you think about first? Do you think about the Celtics, the Vikings, and how they engraved everything into wood? Or do you think about pirates or sailors and how they tie the knots for the boats and stuff like that? Where do you think it first started? What do you think the first knot would be? Like, just give yourself a second to think about it. How about your umbilical cord? When you were first born, before they figured out that they needed to tie that part of you to separate you from your mother so that there would be no complications. When do you think they first started tying the knot? And I don't mean like rings or wedding rings or anything like that, but that is definitely symbolic as well. But when you think about the Celtics or the Vikings or anything like that, the knot is very symbolic. A lot of the times it has to do with never ending. It almost just keeps going, right? It's almost symbolic to the whole idea of the universe and everything that's tied into it and how we're all connected. But recently, when I was thinking about that, the very first thing that came to my mind was the fact that when they separate you from your mother, they usually tie the umbilical cord and then it stays with you. Now, either that piece falls off, you either have an INNY or an OUTY, but regardless, it's the first knot. And then that also has me questioning too the whole idea of trees and how they have the knots from each of the limbs, or just like as it's growing, as it's maturing, how it accumulates, that sort of thing, and how they call them knots. With the English language, they call a lot of things knot. And I just wanted to point that out because I think it's really important that people take a look at certain things that have been around us for centuries and the impact that it actually has on our today's society. I'm very fascinated when it comes to the dictionary and words, and those of you that follow me understand that. You know that I'm quite partial to using even my little pocket dictionary for my readings and stuff like that. But words do have meaning, and the human being gave meaning to these words for language, even going so far back to the first languages and stuff like that. So when you are going about your everyday life, and you're taking a look at certain things that are around you and the symbolic meaning to it, you can get a lot coming from that. I'm trying to get my thoughts together here. You can get a lot coming from that if you actually take a moment just to reflect on it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. As Calypso just like enjoys her piece up there. I don't know about you guys, but I really am liking the whole idea about breaking things down, going back, finding the root meanings of certain words, and finding out their connections, especially when it goes to Latin as well. Taking like a really long word and breaking it down and getting the root meanings to each part of the word. You get so much information coming out of that, and there's so much provided for us to get the answers that we're seeking. So if you do that for yourself too, leave a comment down below. If you don't understand what I'm saying, that's fine. Find a different video or a different person to watch. And like, share, subscribe.